Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Oh, wait. I could have done it better. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
No, wait. I could have done it better.
Okay. Hey,
Hello.
welcome to being here.
Yeah.
I'm Ariel.
What if you couldn't have done it better?
He's Shya.
That's right. And what if you couldn't have done it better? What if you couldn't have done it any differently than you did it?
Enough said. This was a really lovely podcast.
It was.
Thanks for being with us.
Yes.
Next week's episode is Being You. We'll be back. No, that is true, but we have a little more to say today. Are you listening? Listening makes everything glow, makes everything easy.
Actually, listening creates three-dimensionality. Listening creates color. Listening brings you into the current moment of your life where you can experience your life rather than think about your life. See, most of us don't listen. We think about what's being said to see whether we already know it, agree with it, or disagree with it. I mean, that's pretty much your options, or have a better idea.
Or we have to listen.
We have to listen?
Yeah, have to listen is when you're not really listening, but you're pretending you are. And somebody says, are you listening? You say yes.
Oh,
and you
of course I am.
pull it from your most recent memory. But if they hadn't asked, you never would have really.
Gone.
It would have been gone.
Okay.
Could you have done it better?
Absolutely not.
This life that you've lived so far
I
is
couldn't have
over.
done anything differently than I did, even if I think I could have.
Yeah.
Because it's only a think.
You know, the would have, could haves, and should haves.
And think is like stink.
think it rhymes with stink. Would have, could have, and should have only happen when you're upset.
Right.
So all they are, they're not problematic. They're just indicators. It's kind of like every once in a while we get an indicator that the grounds container in our espresso machine is full. It will no longer make espresso unless you throw the grounds out into the garbage. It says empty grounds container. Would have, could have, and should have. It's just your mind's way of saying, hey, you know what? You're a little upset.
That's right.
Okay, let's take our first guest.
Yes. Who's our first guest?
It's Lenore.
Lenore.
Welcome to being here.
Lenore, where are you, Lenore?
Hello. I'm in Kansas City.
What are you doing in Kansas City?
I am visiting a friend.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, it is. It's something that I gifted myself. She thinks that it was a gift for her, but it was really a gift for me to hang out and visit my friend Jen. And yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice.
So, could you have done it better?
You know, I know logically that I could not have done it better.
You say logically, that leaves room for some thought that you could have.
Illogically?
Yes. It's illogically in that fantasy part of my brain. Perhaps the liar part of my brain says, you know, you could have been a little nicer. You could have done that just a little.
Well, your last relationship, could you not have been in it? That did not translate. This is only.
Just for all our listeners, she took her hands and
put
them over her face and eyes.
I could not have done that relationship. I had to have done it.
Yes, but the way you slapped your face is a demonstration of the idea
that you could have done it differently
or better.
Yeah.
Or it should have turned out better than it did.
Yes.
But actually, I think it turned out better than it could have.
Really?
Because it turned out that he's no longer here.
True. That's true.
And he wasn't kind to himself.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to be kind to you.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people think, I should have seen that coming, whatever the it was. Why did I pick that guy? I
You
should have.
saw it coming. It filled the time.
That's true. It did. It filled the time, and at the time, it was just what I needed.
Yes, that's exactly accurate.
And the more you tell yourself the truth about that, the more relationship friendly you are, whether it's a love relationship or being in Kansas City with your friend Jen. If you think you're a bad relationship picker, then you're going to be picking on yourself and looking to prove that you suck everywhere.
He fulfilled a need that you had at that time. And that's that. You needed somebody in your life, another body to sleep next to.
Right.
And hey.
Well, briefly, very briefly, prior to him moving to New Jersey, where you live when you're not in Kansas City, you came alive with the idea of him coming, because I went for a walk with you and I was so taken by how self-expressive you were and how excited you were about your life. So there was at least a brief window of time.
You were in the fantasy of it all rather than the reality. Fantasy relationships are really great in that they're not real, you see. But when their breath smells bad, as opposed to being romantic.
Yes.
And they don't aim when they're peeing in the toilet.
And they want to move all of my fabric somewhere else.
Fabric? I don't have fabric in my house. What do you have fabric in your house for?
I'm a designer. I design handbags, accessories, and I also design classes for my art students. And I use a lot of textiles in my work. And I love them. I love the textures. I love the colors. I love the experience of putting things together and what they are and what they can be. I just really get life from fabric, from feeling it, from being around it. And
he threatened all that.
He did. He
I'm
said,
sure he did.
He did. He said to me at one point, he says, "You're never going to use all this. Maybe we should just get rid of it." I thought, my actual thought was,
You're going first, Buster.
Before. What did you say?
I got it. You're going first, Buster. Yeah,
that's right.
You. It's like, oh.
Well, that clinched it.
But it's cool because you went for it. You went for a full tilt, and then you discovered ultimately, as a long-term proposition, it wasn't. You two weren't compatible.
Right.
So how could you possibly have done that better?
Well, you see, it's this way. He was a relationship 20 years earlier.
Yes.
That didn't work out.
It's funny about that.
So why should it work out now? Huh?
Oh gosh, that's so true. That's
Really?
so well, in the Hallmark movies, the romantic movies, what happens is the girl goes back to her hometown or meets up again with the
I saw that movie.
Yeah.
And it works out beautifully.
Hope floats.
Yeah.
Except it doesn't.
Wow.
Well, it didn't work then, still doesn't work.
That is
now,
precisely.
Here's the thing. If the parties involved somehow evolve to the place where they become honest, then there's a possibility for a relationship that once was to be rekindled.
Right.
But if either one is not willing to look and be honest about what they see, then most relationships are doomed.
Yeah. And, there were glimmers. I thought that there were hints of us both expanding into being a more open and honest.
Entity.
Yes.
Yes.
And yeah,
But look, you can only operate for you, Lenore.
true.
See, you can't require honesty from another. It would be nice if they required honesty from themselves.
Uh-huh.
But most people aren't really that interested in introspection, in looking and seeing the mechanics of how they operate into life.
Right.
But if you get interested in the mechanics, then the mechanics stop running your life and you have some choice in the matter. You have something to say with the way life shows up. But if you're not interested in looking and seeing what mechanical realities determine the way you go about life, there's very little hope.
I'd be really surprised, Lenore, if you were able to articulate as clearly to your ex what all that fabric meant to you as you just did today.
Right.
So, it's also, when in interpersonal relationships, we're often trying to hold them together and get them to work. And it's not till down the line when they're no longer a factor or you don't have that survival aspect, when you realize, oh, wow, I never felt free enough to articulate this or that, or look how different my behavior is not being around that individual.
Yes.
I had that experience myself recently while walking around the Short Hills Mall. I used to walk around with a friend of mine who we've drifted apart, we've gone different ways. And I realized what I enjoyed there, what I'm looking at is very different than when I used to walk around with that person. It was always like, I need more, I need different, I need to buy to the edge of my financial reality and beyond, because nothing was ever enough. And now I walk around and I'm like, don't need that, don't need that, don't need anything. This was nice. I touched some fabric. It's almost like going with you, touch the fabric, see the colors. Well, that was nice. But I don't have to take it all home with me because I am wealthy.
Right. Oh, that's so cool.
But that doesn't make that relationship wrong, nor that earlier version of myself. We all grow and move and age, hopefully, in one way, and not too much, hopefully, in another. There's aging, and then there's getting old.
Yeah. Don't want it. No.
I could have done it better. You're a teacher. Mm-hmm. And I'm certain there are days when you have a class and they walk out and you feel just very satisfied and content. Yes. And on the days when they walk out and you suddenly think, oh, I could have done it better. Have you recognized the dynamic or the launch for that conversation, the trigger for that?
Wow. No, but that's incredible to think about. There are certain students that they get a spark of an interest in something and it lights something up, not just for me, but for the whole class. It's an entryway into saying, okay, that's exactly what we're talking about. 2-point perspective, that's your perspective and their perspective. And that coming together is what makes the magic of making 3 dimensions. That moment is awesome. When I don't have that click, I can sometimes go, oh, okay, I could have.
Well, look, you put an awful pressure on yourself to have it show up the way you think it ought to. You've got how many kids in a class?
25.
Okay, yeah, let's say 20, 25. Different points of view converging, different life circumstances converging on your classroom that day. Their parents were fighting.
Right.
Their father lost his job. Their mother is fighting with the older sister. There's all kinds of stuff going on in their lives. And they show up in your classroom, and you think you've got to somehow get that apex moment to happen, rather than you see what shows up and you see where you take it. Now, I would suggest that if you get them interested so they're really there, you'll have magic show up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's up to you.
It doesn't mean that learning doesn't happen just because you're not having your apex experience.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
we do Living Made Easy seminars. In fact, we have some coming up next in April, because we're doing this weekend. We have the Power of Listening seminar in New York City, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. And there's still room for you if you're listening to this and you're not yet registered, if you're listening to it, of course, in real time. On the Living Made Easy seminars, they're most of the time virtual via Zoom. And so you have people from all over the world come on any particular afternoon, morning, or evening, and we get together, and everybody's in the midst of their own experience of their life. And sometimes they are funny and they move and everybody talks. And other times there are big gaps between communication. And I can have a preference as to which is more fun or pleasant to be a part of, but that doesn't mean they're not equally or effective. Or just because one is my preference doesn't mean that the other isn't working perfectly.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
And I really see it as a mix of people. Like I see it when we do podcasts, because we pre-record the podcast so that they can be released when we're out of town. And we'll do 2 in a day often, with an hour in between. And depending on who the producer is and who the guests are and how we are at the moment of signing in, they're often very distinctly different, not just because the theme is different, but because it's a different mix of people at a different moment in time.
There you go, different moment in now.
Right. Right.
So I'm really in favor of you having great creative classes, but you really have little control over how it turns out. What you do have control over is yourself, however, and what you bring to your classes, rather than bring your upsets. You could bring your
Lesson
joy.
plan.
Yes.
Well, it's true. If you half-ass your lesson plan, you get there and you're winging it with 2 fingers crossed, hoping that
it works out.
Sometimes it might, sometimes it might not, you know?
Yup. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. We have a lesson plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called The Moment.
I like it.
You know, and we deal with in the moment what's here to be spoken about.
I'll tell you one other thing, Lenore, that you haven't quite caught. If somebody is saying no to you for whatever reason, they can be saying a no because they're having a bad day and they walk in and they just hate school.
Right.
I don't know, whatever the no is, your communication goes out. It's like they hold up a shield, it bounces back on you, and then you think you could have done it better, or maybe you should have done it better, or what can you do in them? So when they walk out of your room and you're having that churning of conversation, there's a high likelihood that there was somebody who wasn't listening, or a bunch of somebodies.
Right.
And here's the thing. You're dealing with teenagers,
Yes.
and they are high on hormones,
And sometimes high.
and sometimes they're high on things as well.
Yes.
So all you can do is the best you can do.
I mean, it
You
is
can't
New York
do-
City. You walk
Yes.
down the street, you can get high.
That's right. Just breathe the air in New York City. On any given street corner, you can smell marijuana.
Yeah, it's illegal to
burning.
smoke cigarettes near buildings, but I noticed there's a lot of people smoking joints near buildings. Yeah.
That's great. That's really great. Yeah.
Nice
Thank you.
being with you today, really.
Oh, likewise, really great.
Have fun in Kansas City.
Thank you so much. I'll see you at the weekend.
Okay.
Excellent.
Hey, you want to hear about transformation? We've got one of our listeners about to tell you about what's happened in their life out of listening to being here.
Hi, this is Maiken from Hamburg, and I absolutely love to attend the seminars with you guys, and because it's like a fresh shower. You know, sometimes life kicks you off the road, and it's like coming back on the road and drive nice and smooth, and being with the people there, meeting friends, and see that whatever I'm thinking, I'm the only one having this maybe problem. Others have the same topics, and it's not a problem at all. So I'm looking forward to the next seminar with you guys because it's just gorgeous.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shya's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
Our next Living Made Easy 2-hour virtual seminars are Monday, April 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And the time change will have gone back. So we're on Tuesday, April 7th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 19:30 Central European Time.
That's wild.
What?
Well, just the way time
It
changes,
does.
the way light changes, the way the days get longer and shorter, and like that.
In May, when the days are
Really?
getting
Much
distinctly
longer.
longer, we'll be doing the Freedom to Breathe on Thursday, May 14th, and Being Boldly You.
But that is in Hamburg, Germany.
Hamburg, Germany. This weekend is New York City. And a lot of people are coming in from Europe, and I'm really excited about this course. We talk about listening all the time. We almost did this course virtually, but we've been having so much fun being in person with people. We found a new place in Manhattan, and we're going to be there. So again, you're invited.
Yes.
Costa Rica 2027 is open. The early registration discount, you get your money, your first tuition in. You get a discount. You can check out everything that we're doing up at transformationmadeeasy.com. All right, Anina, welcome to being here. Tell people where you're zooming in from, please.
Hello, it's Anina in Thun, Switzerland.
Welcome.
And over the weekend, I'll be in New York listening to listening.
All right.
So cool.
Yeah, so cool.
Yes. You know, and you planned it in advance too. You know, I think sometimes people have the impulse, oh, I want to go, let me wait and see. And, you know, if you want to do something with us, register. Why not?
If you want to do it, buy the ticket.
Yes, it's so true. I mean, for me, it's an overseas journey that makes it more obvious to prepare a little bit more in advance. But what is much more important in my view is that when I sign up for a course and pay the deposit, it's the course starts to be effective in advance, ahead of
Yes.
time. So it's really
Well, out of your commitment, out of your stated intention to be there, you start creating your universe to support the outcome of the course.
To experience the power of listening, or the freedom to breathe, or your ability to be boldly yourself,
yes.
all those things. It's nice.
Yes, and now that we are talking about it, regarding the listening, I already noticing it that my listening is effortless, or I hear things, and I'm a physical therapist. I sometimes listen with my fingers, and this is getting more vivid. I've noticed that over the last weeks.
Well, that's what I was talking about when he's saying that listening makes things three-dimensional. You know, it's like, yes, here's the spot.
Yes, yes, yes. And sometimes out of nowhere, I get like a hunch. I work with muscles a lot. So I just get the name of a muscle. And when I go and check, sure, there is something that I can do to that muscle to make my client's life easier or less painful. And it doesn't come out of me thinking or going back to the textbooks and checking back in what that might be. And so, but it's just when I'm in the moment, really, it just comes. That's
I
find
like your
that's
description of that, Anina, because a lot of times people think being in the moment is devoid of anything else. Being in the moment is also informed by all your life experience and all the learning you did and all your years practicing as a physical therapist. So that when you touch someone, you may not consciously remember the name of that.
Or you may not even think about it,
It just,
but you'll just know where your hand needs to go and how much pressure it needs to have there.
yeah. And then even the tissue of the patient or client starts talking to my fingers. I find this so fascinating.
That's great.
that I get like real life, real time feedback.
Yes.
That's so good. Yeah.
I know people can't see you because we're releasing this audio, but I love watching your eyes sparkle and your face light up when you're talking about getting real-time feedback. That's really sweet.
Yeah. That's really a blessing. Yeah.
So are there any times where you have the could haves and should haves and would haves plague you?
Yeah, there were many when I was younger, like the kind of would have, should haves, could haves that keep me sleepless overnight.
Yes.
To have them big time between 10 and maybe 30
Yes.
or so. And then for another 10 years, I got so busy that I had to sleep. I didn't have much time to spend the night on could haves, should haves, would haves. And then I met the two of you. And after, like, I don't know, having heard it how many times, I actually got that in any moment of now, I can't be any different, that I really am. And that didn't take care of the should haves, would haves, and could haves. completely and for good. But when one comes up now, so sometimes my mind serves me all kinds of things, among others, could have, should have, and would have. And then I sometimes ask, really? I know differently. I know from experience differently.
Yes.
Then it's just like another indicator that I haven't been really in the moment, or that I might be upset, as you talked to
Lenore about?
Lenore about, yeah. So yeah, and then I start looking. Oh, what is it? What is it keeping me from? So yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So they don't go away. I think they're kind of hardwired into our mind.
What is it that you're speaking of? Your upsets?
The idea that you could do
These
something
two,
different.
yeah, these two, and what Ariel said, the idea that I could have, should have, would have done it differently.
Yes.
But I think that hardwiring could go dormant.
And,
It's a little bit like,
see,
I
here's
don't,
the thing. If you go swimming, you're in water. When you're
Yes.
out of the water, you can be dry. But when
Yes,
you dive in, you're wet. Well, it's
Yes.
the same thing. When you're in your experience of what you're doing, the rest of the universe falls away. Your doubts and fears and thinking you could have done it differently or should have done it differently, that doesn't exist if you're actually fully engaged in what you're up to.
yes,
It's only when your mind goes on idle.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You often talk about the screensaver that comes up.
What?
screensaver.
Oh,
The
screensaver. Yeah.
screensaver. that
Yeah,
comes
I
up.
heard screen as green. And so I
Okay,
couldn't
sorry.
do-
A screensaver.
Right.
Green stamps? No, it's different era.
Different era.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No.
we don't really have screensavers as much anymore, but in the early days with our computer, they would come on after a few minutes so that the text would not burn itself into the
Yeah.
screen.
yeah, mine too. The
Mhm.
flying toasters.
Yeah, we
Yes.
had flying toasters. I love the flying toasters.
Me too.
They were fun.
Yeah.
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 Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I've enjoyed you articulating yourself today.
Thank you. Yeah, and see you.
Yeah, see you soon.
See you soon.
Yay, yay.
Yeah.
Now, see, if you want to be with Lenore, if you want to be with Anina, and some of our last week's guests too, come join us for the power of listening. Who knows what we'll discover?
That's right.
Yeah,
I'll be in person in New
Yeah.
York City.
you got it.
That could be fun.
hmm And you can share this podcast with your friends or your family or your colleagues. You can subscribe. You can subscribe to our newsletter. You can even subscribe to our Living Made Easy on Demand subscription series. And then you'd have people like Anina, and you'd not only hear them, you get to see them because you get a video each week in your inbox. We have all sorts of resources, blogs, partake of what you are interested in. We're a full buffet. Next week's podcast, are you ready?
Being you.
It's in
What
being.
does that mean?
I don't know.
Ooh.
We're going to discover it next
Next week.
We'll be
figure it
back.
out.
So
Come on back and don't miss being here.